popping on today to help add to your repertoire list again, this time for child singers. I'll be concentrating on pre-pubertal ages, around 7 to 11 years old, and as Dr. Jenevora Williams writes in the first edition of her most excellent book, Teaching Singing to Children and Young Adults, this is a great age to start building good habits and developing more focused physical skills. So get ready for 10 more songs which are coming your way. Let's just give a brief moment to some of the things we'll likely want to consider working with this age range, as we do really with any voice. Here we'll want to give thought to things like stage of development, technical limitations, and possibly even levels of self-awareness. For ages 7 to 11 years, we might expect the vocal range to fall approximately between A3, B3 to F-sharp 5, G5, but we can assess this on a case-by-case basis, as some children might actually be quite comfortable reaching lower or higher than that. When we talk about stage of development, we're looking at things like lung size, the definition of the vocal fold layers, the size of the larynx, and the level of muscle coordination available. And again, drawing from Dr. Jenevora Williams's book, we can keep in mind that limitations for this age group might include anything that's too high, too fast, too long, or too loud. And as teachers, we might need to just guide that child singer a little bit more compared to some of our older singers, as their interoception, that ability to sense what's going on inside their body, develops. And of course, this might apply anyway if we're working with neurodiverse learners or maybe even transgender singers. And maybe you can check out our podcast with Dr. Shannon Coates and Stephen Davidson on these topics. As we touched upon in the first in the series of repertoire sharing, we might also want to consider lyrical content, making sure it isn't too adult in nature and not too far away from their experiences so far. Having said that, artistic interpretation is completely encouraged, and so we can help young singers to find new meaning in songs that could actually be about friendship, instead of that bastard who broke your heart into a million pieces and stamped all over them. And swear words can be swapped out with something much cleaner. I recently came across the Kids Bop version of Lola Young's Messy, where they did this, and it worked fine. Just last week, I was on auntie duty looking after my nieces who are 8 years old and 4 years old. And of course, they wanted the Wicked soundtrack on in the car. Were they really intrigued by the more classically informed sounds that Ariana Grande was demonstrating? Yeah. Did they want to try it? Absolutely they did. Did they also want to belt Defying Gravity? Yes, of course they did. And if I told them not to, because it was quite difficult to do for their age, and that maybe we should listen to some other easier music, would that have actually stopped them from singing those songs? And would that have actually helped them? No, I don't think so. After all, I'll probably still get those videos from my sister showing me them singing these songs and enjoying them. In fact, if I had told them not to sing it, or refused to put it on even, I might have actually put them off singing, discouraged them from being curious about music and imitating and playing with the sounds they hear and enjoy, and I might have actually just shut down their interests. It was actually really fascinating to watch my eldest niece imitate Ariana Grande in No One Mourns the Wicked and see her intuitively make appropriate vocal tract shapes, even lowering her chin to her chest, which could have been a strategy unbeknownst to her for finding a lower larynx position to create the warmth in the sound that we would align with something a little bit more classical. If we find something is eating into the limitations of the child, there are things we can do before we tell them no. We can perhaps suggest a cut of the song instead of the whole thing. We can change the key. We can structure the lesson so that they take breaks and do other things with their voice too. We can take it as an opportunity to educate them on the voice and in vocal health in a playful way. And if we do think that actually it's not the best song for now and it's doing more harm than good, then we can even suggest another song by the same artist. An important point that I picked up from vocal coach Amelia Carr is to actually share performances of children singing the song that the child wants to sing or that you are suggesting, rather than the adult, so they aren't then trying to imitate an adult sound, but they can hear what that might be like in a voice of their own age. The songs I am sharing are a mix of pop and musical theatre tracks, but there are so many more genres and songs that our young singers can enjoy. So let's get into it. Song number 1 comes from the 2005 musical Lestat by Elton John and Bernie Taupin, based on The Vampire Chronicles by Anne Rice. It's not the most well-received musical of all time, but the song, I Want More, can be a real fun one to explore. It's sung by the character Claudia, who makes an appearance in Act 2. She is an orphan who has been transformed into a vampire by Lestat. As she's been changed at such a young age, Claudia has an even stronger hankering for blood, and in this song, she talks of this intense craving and need. It's a piece that is very character-driven, but if the subject content is feeling a bit too dark, we can reframe the topic to be more of like a Veruca Salt type character, a spoilt child wanting more toys and material things to maintain that similar energy and match the lyrics. It's a song that creeps towards 4 minutes long, but the verses are pretty similar, so you could make an easy cut of this. It's about just over an octave in vocal range, moving between about a B-flat 3 to a B4, including a key change, and has some semitone movements in the chorus. If a singer is really keen on chest-dominant singing and belt, then they might enjoy this song, as it carries a strength in the sound to that B4, and with a helpful foundation of O vowel to assist it in such a way that can encourage some laryngeal stability, where there might be some tendency to unnecessarily hike the larynx and squeeze, and it's a nice resonant posture to work from too. I've used this in singing lessons with children before, even having it entered into song and dance festivals where it placed several times in the top 3. Number 2 is a lovely song about companionship and friendship and can be sung by any gender in this age group. It's Count on Me by Bruno Mars. Vocal range is approximately A3 to C5, venturing into the higher pitch ranges at times, which can help encourage exploration and development of this area in this age range. The bridge does ask for a longer breath line, ascending across like a C major scale, so it's a good opportunity actually to start looking at some more detailed breathing technique. And if the singer is that little bit younger or is struggling with that breath line, then they might just need to take a few more breaths whilst their lungs are smaller and not yet at adult size. It might break up that breath line a little bit, but it's also a good chance to explore where is appropriate to take a breath in terms of phrasing clarity. There are some gentle dynamics without it being completely vocal gymnastics, and it's a nice entry song for a type of pop style where we could look at things like grace notes, or some of those shorter riffs for those who are able and interested. I'll sail the world to find you. Oh, 1, 2, 3. And song number 3 is In My Own Little Corner from Cinderella. A few weeks ago, we chatted with performer, singing teacher, and musical theatre history lecturer Molly Marie Walsh on how understanding the history of MT can help us to be better performers. Part of musical theatre history is the legit genre, and many performing arts colleges will give focus to training this style in their higher education courses, if not even asking for an example in audition stages. Being exposed to this genre that little bit earlier on in the vocal journey can be really helpful for the performer who then goes on to audition at such institutions, instead of waiting the day before the drama school audition to actually listen to any legit. And it just also offers another style to the singer to listen to, get familiar with, to learn about, which can actually expand their vocal palette. I think In My Own Little Corner is quite a good song and an entry song for this genre, because it's not super duper high. It covers an octave from about D4 to D5, And from a character standpoint, there are so many personalities to explore. Of course, Cinderella, but the Norwegian princess, the milkmaid, the prima donna, the heiress, the queen, mermaid, and the huntress, all who can have little quirks and explorations of their own. This song is featured in graded singing exams, listed as grade 2, I believe, on the ABRSM syllabus, and there are videos of younger singers delivering this song on YouTube for other younger singers to watch. Seeing other singers of their own age singing this song might actually encourage them to maybe engage with it a little bit more too. Many young singers will often remark that their head voice is a challenging place to sing, and this can be a great opportunity to have them explore it, develop it, and actually just use it. Singing lessons consist of a lot more than singing alone. We might be looking at musicianship skills, acting through song, pitch matching, and even an introduction to harmonies and play songs and canons. Song number 4 is a fun duet from SpongeBob SquarePants the musical called Chop to the Top, which is all about confidence, morale, and supporting each other, written by Lady Antebellum or Lady A. Now, I've never actually watched an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants. I don't know where I've been. As it's a duet, it might suit singers who share sessions, or if you're a teacher working in small groups, as it offers teamship and the opportunity to start singing in small parts in harmony, as well as giving the singer their own leading solo lines. The character of Sandy holds the melody line and has a low belt opportunity, whereas SpongeBob carries the harmony line and has some acted dialogue throughout. But it's really up to you how you want to chop it up. That was a disgusting pun. And share it out. Again, I've worked with singers on this song and it's been entered into song and dance competitions, placing in the top 3. So far, we've had 2 contemporary musical theatre songs, 1 legit musical theatre song, and an upbeat pop song. Now we're moving back over into that pop catalogue, flicking towards the country vibe with Rainbow by Casey Musgraves. If you're working with a beginner singer who might be quite shy, or even somebody who usually picks really big and bold songs, but they just fancy working on something a bit more sincere, then this could be a good choice. It's a heartfelt ballad giving encouragement and support to someone in difficult times. Although Music Notes says that the range goes up to an E-flat 5, most of the versions I've heard sit between G3 and C5, so maybe there's an opt-up written somewhere. The G3 might be a bit low for some singers at this age, but these are very quick visitations, so you could change them up quite easily. So instead of singing, "But you didn't even notice," you can sing, "But you didn't even notice," and you won't even notice. It's a fairly repetitive song, but therefore it's a canvas to help explore with the singer how to make those slight differentiations between verses and choruses to create a journey, and therefore offering them some chance to play and be a pop star. Disney Junior is the home of Sophia the First, and the song I Belong is a sweet choice for the young singer. Sophia is a peasant girl, but when her widowed mother marries a widowed king, she suddenly becomes royalty. This song is all about Sophia trying to find where she fits in her new life, perseverance and confidence, and it has a lovely arc from beginning to end. The vocal range is about B3, C5, and it's navigating some higher pitches and also a key change. The next song that I've picked is Fireflies by Owl City, because I think it's a really wonderful song for the imagery that it conjures up through its lyrics. For example, we have things like, "I get 1,000 hugs from 10,000 lightning bugs as they try to teach me how to dance, a foxtrot above my head, a sock hop beneath my bed, a disco ball is just hanging by a thread." It's a capable range, and in this we get a little bit of the influence from that electronic type sound too. Speaking of imagery, I also really like the song Grand Hotel by Regina Spektor. The verses are in that speechy chest range, if you like, And then the chorus actually asks us to be up in a sort of whimsical, floaty head voice, which I think can be a really nice balance for the singer who might be comfortable and confident in their lower range, but just to encourage them to use and develop and explore the top pitch ranges as well. And the lyrics equally as imagery driven. Somewhere below the Grand Hotel, there is a tunnel that leads down to hell. Take the dumbwaiter, the laundry chute, then sneak through the hall past the boys' shining boots, then left at the courtyard, through the old garden, where all the bellhops smoke with the guards, and then you run to the old lake house, where it begins. Something that I've quite liked doing and have found effective with this song and young singers is actually getting them to draw and colour in this hotel from their mind and from what the lyrics prompt. And this can help us to connect the visual side of our storytelling to the melody and understand why we might be singing things in a certain way. And the vocal range here, according to music notes, is that G3 to C5. Standalone musical theatre songs can be quite a fun one to explore, as they aren't anchored in a particular story, but instead a played out scenario and character type. One that I really love for either the young singer or the older singer is Kindergarten Love Song by Drew Gasparini. The song tells the story of a young person's first playground crush. We've all been there, I'm sure we remember. Hello, Jonathan. It's written from the viewpoint of a female character who is singing to Billy, but we can easily make this from a male perspective as well. Maybe the person is Brittany, as I've seen in some versions. And it's a brilliant piece for a great and confident actor or actress. In the middle of the song, there is quite a fast spoken bit, but this is a really good opportunity to segue between singing and dialogue, diction, and even keeping to tempo. I'm sure you're all sick of me talking about how much I love books on this podcast, but I just can't help it, all right? I sometimes like suggesting songs from musicals that were originally book sources. One could be The Girl I Mean to Be from The Secret Garden, because it can pull two skills together, literacy and singing. Whilst we're exploring this song and the character, the child can be reading at home the original book. And it has been an excuse for me to read it too. All right, yeah, I've made it about me. Another song we might look at is Good Girl, Winnie Foster, which is from the musical Tuck Everlasting, based on the book Tuck Everlasting by Natalie Babbitt. Good Girl Winnie Foster is Winnie Foster's I Want song. She is a 10, 11-year-old girl who really wants to go and explore outside of the boundaries of her house, but unfortunately her mother won't let her. Her friends are frogs. She talks about going to bed at 7 p.m. and she wants to go and find some trouble, if there was some to get in. The vocal range of this song, according to music notes, is about G flat 3 to E flat 5, so maybe some adjustments might need to be made to those lowest notes. It offers some nice technical challenge along the way, and maybe a good piece for child singers who are auditioning on the West End. So there we go, 10 small fish in a huge musical pond of songs for children. I Want More from Lestat, Count on Me by Bruno Mars, In My Own Little Corner from Cinderella by Rodgers and Hammerstein, Chop to the Top from the SpongeBob SquarePants musical, Rainbow by Casey Musgraves, I Belong from Sophia the First, Fireflies by Owl City, Grand Hotel by Regina Spektor, Kindergarten Love Song by Drew Gasparini, and Good Girl Winnie Foster from the musical Tuck Everlasting. I'd love to know if you have used any of these songs in your studios and what other ones you have found to be really successful. Let's encourage the next generation of singers and hold up their interests wherever they may lie in the musical landscape. That's it from me. Until next time. Hey you! If you're enjoying the Singing Teachers Talk podcast, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We are committed to bringing you engaging conversations and valuable insights from experts across the field of voice. By subscribing, it means we can continue to do that. You'll never miss an episode, and you'll be helping to spread the word to other singing teachers, vocal coaches, and overall voice nerds. So subscribe to this channel now and just watch your teaching grow.